Hi everybody, I'm back with Guitar in the Real World. Welcome everybody. So I've decided to go for a bit more funk this time round. A friend of mine who I used to be in a band with, I met up with him a couple of weeks ago for the first time in about 28 years or something. And we used to play this tune in our band. It was kind of a jazz funk sort of band that we did, I suppose. And this is a track by David Sanborn called Wake Me When It's Over, and it comes from his 1981 release Voyeur. Now, this is a Marcus Miller production, basically, and Marcus plays every instrument on it. So the guitar parts that we're going to look at today were played by Marcus Miller. They're not that difficult, but the whole thing's very funky. It's very much in the style of that early 80s New York funk scene. You'll hear elements, if you listen to Bernard Wright's first album, Nard, and also Tom Brown's Funkin' for Jamaica, you'll hear similarities, I think. Also, a lot of the Brecker Brothers stuff had a similar kind of feel, but then it's early 80s New York jazz funk. There's going to be a lot of influence, I think, between the different artists. Jamaica, Queens, is basically where Marcus Miller grew up, so I think he's demonstrating his roots very much in this composition. So let's just talk about what the guitars are doing in this. The first part, which is panned to the left, is actually, I think it's played finger style. And what you do is you get this 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you've got there is this like almost like popping, slapping sort of approach on the guitar, and basically you've got these two chords, and it's an A7 augmented to a D9th chord. That's that's a little change there. But then so that's strummed with the thumb, but the rest of it is just like kind of A, D, C, and then you've got that bluesy bend. So there aren't many notes to get together here. What's important is to try and get the rhythmic feel and get right in the pocket. And actually, listening back to my recording I did, there's a couple of points where I played slightly ahead of the Rhodes piano. So that's the first part that happens in the A section. The part that comes in on the right hand side is played with a pick. Well, some of it is anyway. And you get this sort of muted thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then you've got the sort of popped part there, so that's echoing that in the first guitar part. He just does it, and he is using his fingers. That's not a pick. That's that sound there. So you get the does it like that. So he kind of, that second part doesn't do very much, but it has like two distinct parts. It's like the first time around it does the picking thing, the second time around it does the sort of harmonising with the pulled notes there. Alright, once we get into the chorus section, if that's what you want to call it, the guitars don't do anything for the first 8 bars, and then the guitars come in. The right hand side plays more strumming, and basically it's sort of playing 2, 3, 4. That's that first half. It's sort of going from a D minor, little small D minor voicing. Maybe it's just the C and the F, I think. Maybe with the A in there. But then it goes then an A minor triad. And what's happening there? He's playing an A minor because the bass is playing an F. So it gives an F major 7th. So he goes. Okay. And then plays on that A minor, and then goes to E7 sharp 5 sharp 9. So he keeps that A minor shape for the second half of it. Goes up that B and then C up there, so that's still marking out that kind of F major 7th sound before going back to the E7 altered chord. Note that although this piece isn't played with a swung feel, some of the little phrases are quite swung. That one in particular, you hear the guitar, actually if you listen to the original track later on in the track, there's a breakdown, it's just there's no bass, and it's basically all the higher parts. And the guitar is there. What do we hear? We hear. And hear a very distinctive swing going on there. Okay, now the chorus section for the other part, which is on the right hand side, you get this 2, 3, 4, and 1. It's a little pentatonic picking thing. Again, there's nothing to it. You can extemporize on it. You don't have to play exactly. I mean, I think what I've played is not exactly as it is on the track every single time, but it's essentially 3, 4, 1. That kind of thing, just round and round, going to that E7 altered chord. Just a quick note about tone. It sounds decidedly like he's playing this on a Telecaster style guitar. And on the middle position, both pickups active. And I'd be 99% certain that it's been DI'd straight into the board. It sounds very kind of like that DI'd sound. So I tried to emulate that sound myself. I used a bit of compression in Logic, and also the analog console EQ plugin, just to add a bit of high mids and a bit more high-end sparkle, because sometimes, you know, although there's the full frequency range coming out of a DI'd guitar, certain frequencies don't always seem to cut through the mix. They can sound a bit kind of clinical. So that's how I went about this, and I added a bit of room reverb as well, which again you can hear quite a bit of room reverb added to varying elements of the track. Alright, so that's essentially all there is to it. It's a funky track. I love it. I grew up liking it and loving it. And big thanks to Ben for suggesting I did a lesson on it. There will be more of these coming when I get the time. I've been taking a bit of a break from all these, and some time became available this weekend, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to quickly do this. Okay guys, I will see you next time. Cheers.